Hello, my name is Jonny Rodgers and I'm on the teaching team here at the Centre for Literacy in Primary Education. The teacher book review that I'm doing today is based on Corey's Rock, which was written by Sita Brahmachari and illustrated by Jane Ray. This was a title that we used on our Inspiring Writing course for years 5 and 6, which is a one-day course in which we really seek to share with teachers ways in which they can really engage the children with writing and start to identify themselves as writers, because we know that when children think of themselves as writers, that is when their journey to becoming lifelong literate citizens really begins. Corey's Rock is just an absolutely fantastic text. It was such a privilege to have shared it with the teachers on that day and to have written the teaching sequence that accompanies it. The teachers on that day just absolutely fell in love with the book in the same way that I had done when I read it, and I've read it many times over now, and each time I read it I find some new joy within it. Not just the incredible writing that Sita Brahmachari has provided us with, but also Jane Ray's incredible illustrations. Jane is a writer in her own right, but also a fantastic illustrator, and the words and pictures just complement each other so incredibly, and it's almost the definition of that readerly gap that we talk about, where it's so much greater than the sum of the words on their own or the pictures on their own. Corey's Rock is a really, really powerful story. Corey, of the title, is the younger brother of Isla that you see in the picture, and it becomes clear fairly early on in the story that Corey has died, and that his parents have moved with Isla away from Edinburgh, where they'd been living, back to the Orkneys, where Corey's mother is from. And the story is absolutely filled with the spirit of the Orkneys. Not just the beauty and the power of that place and its incredible historical importance. It's been called the Egypt of the North, and it's got an absolute wealth of United Nations sites of historic interest. But also because of its rich traditions of what are called Selkie tales, and you'll see in the cover that between the family is framed a seal. Seals in the Orkneys are called Selkies, but Selkie tales are actually a very specific form of literature. Selkies are shapeshifters. It's where creatures from the sea are able to come to land, and they shed their seal skin to go about among humans, but they then need their seal skin to be able to return to the sea. And Isla, in her grief, builds this idea that Corey, her brother, has visited her in her dreams, which are really vividly shared with the reader through the text and through the illustrations. And the story really is about Isla and her family coming to terms with the loss of young Corey. The writing opportunities that you can explore with the children are so rich. There's so many artistic, creative and dramatic opportunities for exploring the writing and exploring the themes and the issues that are in there. There is enough there to stretch your most able year 5 and year 6 children, but also really supportive structures that will get the most out of your less confident and less experienced writers. In summary, Corey's Rock is an absolutely beautiful, powerful story, wonderfully told, amazingly illustrated, and that will really engage a year 5 or year 6 class and give them so many opportunities for writing a really sophisticated form of memoir of their own, that I can only recommend it wholeheartedly to any upper Key Stage 2 teacher.